Okay, so the next thing we're going to need is the cloth Foley of the movement of these characters. So I'm going to go to Foley. I'm actually going to go to a preset called hiking cloth because that has a nice jeans area. So I can use the XY pad here to mix between like a backpack, which sounds like this. Actually, that layer will be quite useful to me actually when on the bag drop. So I'm going to save that actually. That's the nice thing about Krotos Studio in that you can sometimes create these little things as sketches that maybe you can use later. So that's a perfect example of that. So I'm actually going to go to the jeans corner here. And I want something a little light just for the movement of our characters there. So I'm going to go to my cloth jeans layer that I've already prepped. Again, this is rooted taking the input from bus 1 and 2 again, like we did before. So let's go again. Okay, cool. So just a light little cloth layer there just to augment the steps that we've got there as well. So let's turn the steps down a little bit on both. And let's continue. So the next thing we see in the scene is the bag drop. So as I mentioned, like I felt like that little hiking move there was quite a nice start to that. So pop that in there. Let's see what else we can do for the bag drop. Now I know I've got some other layers in here that might be quite useful. So we need the drop of that onto the metal. I'm going to go for what we've got, a sofa up down layer here. I don't want leather. I'm going to move this over to fabric, pitch it down a little bit. Okay, that's a little bit too light. Let me try again. Okay, so that drop there might be quite useful. For when our first character actually sort of sits down here, which is around here. So I'm going to add that in. So around there. That's another slower one. That might be quite useful when our second character sits down here in front of the camera. Let's hear those back. And another one here at the end. Okay, a little long, a little too loud, but we can edit those up and see where we get to. So I want to try one more. Okay, that's just a little layer that I'm going to use on for the bag drop. So I'm going to pop that in there as well. Now, the bag is dropping again onto some metal. So I'm going to look for another metallic-y type layer. There's a metal locker somewhere here that might be quite useful. Okay, so that like impact might be quite nice just to make it feel like that bag is actually impacting on something metallic. Even though it's not landing on a locker, that layer might be quite handy just to sort of gel that into the environment a bit better.